Recently in the United States, minimum wage has been changed to $11 an hour. Did you know that in Mexico it is 102.68 pesos every day? And that's about $5 every single day. Just imagine trying to support your family off of only $5 every single day. Imagine the stress, the difficulty you'd be going through. Yeah, it wouldn't be easy. Today I'm going to talk about the time that I coached a Little League baseball team, met a boy named Emilio, whose family was from Mexico and whose income was just not the best. And then discuss how something as simple as coaching a Little League team really taught me the valuable lessons about life. And then finally, a couple of solutions that we can all really try to get behind and expand the dawn of freedom. In 2017, I coached a Little League baseball team in Castro, Arizona. It was my third time being the coach. It was my first time being the head coach. The first two I was an assistant. And I'm not going to lie, I was extremely nervous. One, because I didn't know how many of the head coaching responsibilities were going to go. And two, because there's a lot of freaking kids in this world, in case you didn't know. And when everyone signs up for Little League, they all file into one building, into one room. And I'm still in awe of how they can all manage to conjointly fart, cough, sneeze, smell, all over each other in one room. It was truly amazing. I'm still amazed. In 2008, the Little League participation stats reported that there were nearly 2.6 million kids in Little League worldwide, which is a lot of laundry going on for all the parents out there. So after all the evaluations and tryouts happened, I was finally able to meet my teams, who I was working with. And there were a couple kids who I'd seen before, so I thought, okay, it won't be too awkward around here. And then I saw a boy who I'd never seen before. He was definitely new. But he wasn't nervous, I could tell, because he was talking with all the other teammates. So I thought, okay, cool. So I can go over and have a conversation with him real quick. I went over and introduced myself to him. He did the same. He told me his name was Emilio. His family was from Mexico. And then we just talked about, just ice breaking stuff. Just broke the ice with each other, talked about favorite player, favorite team, just stuff like that. And then I went over and talked with his parents. And they did the same, introduced themselves to me, and talked about how they just came here from Mexico, and how Emilio's passion for baseball is just extremely through the roof, and that's all he wants to do every day, every minute, every second of his life, which really excited me to finally be able to meet him. And then they told me about their financial problems. They told me about how they were struggling super hard and how their income was just way below average, how there would be even food sometimes would be questionable if there would be enough for everyone. And hearing about this, it really broke my heart, and I wanted to do anything that I could to help these guys out, especially Emilio. I guaranteed him that this first year was definitely going to be just one of the best years of his life. And so the season began, and he had a really good understanding of the game. He knew the basics and the fundamentals and everything like that, but he still had a lot to learn because it was, after all, his first year in a league and on a team. And then just practice after practice, game after game, this kid was getting so much better, way better than he started. And it was truly impressive with that short amount of time that we had, how much better he got. And I was not the only one that noticed this. My other players, his teammates, noticed this as well. And everyone wants to be friends with the best player on the team. So they go over there and they introduce themselves to him, which allowed him to be more social and make a lot more friends, which is really what it's all about. And that made me happy, and his parents really happy too. So the end of the season comes around. This is when they announced the AllStar Team. This is a group of the best players on each team, all put on one team and go play around the state. And it was getting towards the end of the announcements, and only one of my kids had made it so far, and then the last name was coming up. This is when that anxiety, that tense feeling, all the players, the coaches, the parents, everyone wondering, did my kid make it or not? And then that very last name, it was Emilio. And I cannot tell you how excited, how proud I was seeing this kid, who I had not even known more than a year, make this team. I ran over, hugged his parents, celebrated his parents, his parents crying in tears of how happy they were. I ran over, hugged Emilio, and told him how proud I was of him and how much of an awesome person he's going to be when he grows up. And me telling him how not only me hoping that I changed his life, but him changing mine as well. It was definitely one of the proudest moments of my life. So now that we've discussed about Emilio, my team, and the unexpected success that happened, let's now discuss how something as simple as coaching in Little League taught me valuable lessons about the freedom of opportunity. In 2014, the National Institute of Statistics and Geography reported that the average household income in Mexico is about 13,239 pesos, which is about $843 US. And that's barely enough to sustain a family, which usually has about 3 to 4 members at most. This salary gap that we have between these two countries can definitely explain why we have cases of immigration going on here in the United States. You know, people just trying to get over to have a better life. I mean, who could blame them? They earn 6 times more here in the United States than they even do back at home. According to the United States Census, data from 2015 reported that the median household income in the United States is about $56,516, while in Mexico it's about $24,440. This is why Emilio's family came over here. Not to spread crime, not to live off social services, no. But to make sure that they all had a better life to live. To make sure that they all knew what that healthy lifestyle was. So bringing it back to my story, meeting and coaching Emilio, it truly changed my life. It really did. It was definitely a huge obstacle to try to overcome my first year as a coach. And seeing him get that opportunity to finally play the sport that he loves so much, it really meant a lot to me and his family. And being there to coach him and guide him eventually to the AllStar Team, I think it's just one of the many examples of providing opportunities to those who don't really get that many chances. It does not take that long to help someone in need. These simple and small things that we think don't really matter that much can probably end up changing somebody's life. So what can we do? What can we all do to help the future Emilios of this country? Well, first of all, bringing it back to my story in my case, what we can do is we can go buy and donate bats, gloves, hats, cleats, jerseys, anything. Go out and donate to Little Leagues around the world. That way, for kids like Emilio, who can't go out there and just buy things like everyone else, don't have to worry about it. They can just go out and just go enjoy themselves. Second of all, you can go out and volunteer to be a coach. Get off the sidelines and all this and just waiting around and go out there and connect with these kids. Whether you have prior experience in sports or not, it does not matter. Teach them leadership, mentorship, positive attitudes, dealing with pressure, anything. Teach them right now at a young age. That way you can set them up for life. So, we learned about how kids like Emilio can really change the lives of people like me, coaching lives, not only just coaching lives, but lives in general. And also why it's so important to have empathy for families that are struggling coming from Mexico to the United States. So this is my challenge to you. Go out and find your team. Find your Emilio and be the coach that they deserve. Thank you.